I have no idea what this is. I've been here my whole life and never seen it. Farmhouse. That's interesting. I guess you can park over here too before 5. That is weird. Seen stuff you never seen before. The only thing sad about it is you get this dopamine rush from your previous narcissist, and you have all these feelings about being in love with this person, but actually the love came from you. Because when you really put all the data points, the narcissist Jezebel never loved you. She never loved you. She was just feeding off your love for her, that image that she put out there. And it still messes with your mind. It's a mind game. So when you go over here or you do stuff that you did together, it's like a mind psyop, and they know it. They know it. That's how they pull you back in. But when you realize that love was from you, not from them, you did a mind psyop on yourself. Because at first they said all the right words and they did all, but I don't know if anybody's ever talked about this online. If they haven't, it needs to be actually a topic that goes viral. So let me just go ahead and just be real about it. So here's the deal. So let's say you go to a park and it reminds you of when you were walking in the park with this person. Love. But where did the love come from? Because I remember my first wife played that game too. She said, "What's your favorite restaurant?" I say, "I'll go over here." "Let's go over here." "Oh, let's go to your favorite restaurant." So we go to the favorite restaurant. A week later, she took off. So they're playing some kind of mind emotional game. And then as you think about the past, and the second wife did that. "What's your favorite whatever, food, whatever?" Because they know they're getting ready to leave and they're trying to devastate you, right? And so, "What's your favorite restaurant?" or "What's your favorite activity?" So they want you to walk around the park or go to this restaurant or do this together. So that when they leave and they go to their other supply, family, life, because they usually have 2 or 3 different lives. They're living multiple lives. And I found out years later, I Googled Red Square, and my wife was in Red Square. She was over in, and it was an old picture. And I had forgot what she looked like, but the clothes, I said, those look like the same kind of clothes she would wear. And she was over there in Russia. So she's probably a CIA agent, to be honest with you. Or some kind of agent. If not, just a narcissist psychopath, greedy, selfish, system agent. But anyway, so what I found out is they'll say, "What's your favorite restaurant?" And you go, "Let's go there." And the next day, they're getting ready to leave you. They're getting ready to leave. But they're not leaving forever. They're only leaving for a month or two, because they know once 2 months or 3 months go by, they're never be coming back, because you know what they are. And so after the first wife and the second wife were playing these narcissistic Jezebel games, I started taking notes. And then when I started seeing the gaslighting, the future faking, the never following through, and trying to get you to give up your identity, the things you like, and it's just all about them. They're trying to steal your identity, trying to steal your visions and your goals, and they're trying to get you to worship them like Queen Bee, because their mama taught them that way. Their mama did that to her husband, and he died early. It's like these men die early and get gray hair early, but why? Because these Jezebels suck the life out of them. And you notice the women live 20 years later. Now the ones that really love each other, when my grandmother died, a year later my grandfather died, because it was real love. But these narcissistic, psychopathic Jezebels, they don't have love. And so that's why there's a divorce. That's why there's a split. And so they say, what do you like to do? Well, I like to walk around the park. I like to ride the bikes at the park. And so your memory, so when you go do something like that, I just left that park, walked around the park. When you go do something like that, your mind, there's programs running in your mind. I wish she was here with me. I miss us going to the park together. They want you to be stuck on them like a recording, like a record player. It's kind of like if you turn the music on and that song gets stuck in your mind. Okay, so that's one of the reasons I don't listen to music, because music puts you in the past, it puts you in emotions, it puts you in the world's mindset. So when you are a person of truth, you try to date this female or marry this female or fall in love with a female, then you want to do things right. She don't want to do it right. She wants to do it her way and not God's way. So you leave. Please come back. You try one or two more times. And so the next time, let's just do I'm going to just do it. I'm going to change, and we're just going to go with the flow. And what's your favorite restaurant? So what they're trying to do is a trauma bond. So if your favorite restaurant is McDonald's, which I hope it ain't, or Taco Bell, or whatever, because every city is pretty much the same. So no matter where they live, your favorite place to go with them, Dunkin' Donuts or whatever, Wendy's or Jimmy John's up here, they want you to remember the time that you spent together and how great it was and how wonderful it was, and you had a companion. But it wasn't based on their love for you, it was based on your love for them. And they were just mirroring, they were just a mirror projecting back what they don't love you. They never loved you. It was all scam. And so they were just mirroring the love you had for them. They just mirrored it back. They knew they didn't love you, but they were giving you the fake reality illusion, like WandaVision. And so it takes a while to break the spell. But once you break the spell, even when you walk in the park or something you like to do that they did with you, or you go ride your bike, that memory is there, but the more you're away from them, the memory fades. And that's why they do it, because they know how memory works. And so if you go away for a week, they pull you back in. You go away for 2 weeks, they pull you back in. Go away for a month, they try to pull you back in. Go away for 2 months, the jig is up. You realize they were fake. They were not real people. They were actresses. She was an actor. And after you go through it enough times, you realize most people are not even real. They're not born again. They're not sincere. They're not genuine. Look at that, U-Haul. Somebody's thinking about getting a U-Haul. Mom's attic. Fuel saver chassis skirts. So these people have no love. And so the love that you're projecting out, they're mirroring it back. So you think they love, you think you met your soulmate. Feels like your soulmate. And then if you do call them a month later, 2 months later, you start to see those patterns, those manipulation patterns, that everything out of their mouth is manipulation. They can't change. That's all they know. They were trained that way by their mama, their grandmother, their friends, their girlfriends. They trained themselves to be that way. They're just giving you what you want. They're not real. And they'll slip up sometime and say something like, I can't be myself, nobody would like me. If they tell you that, they're actually telling you that they're fake. They're actually, if you're talking to them and you think it's a close knit, and they say, well, I can't be myself around people because nobody likes me. They're actually giving you a warning from the beginning that they're doing it to you. Everything they say that they're doing to other people, they're doing to you. Like my stepmother said, the way they treat others is the way they're going to treat you. So there's four tools I learned from the older women in my life that in blood family or related to blood. The four tools were my stepmother. The way they treat others is the way they treat you. Because she was seeing how my dad treated others and treated her that way. Stepmother. My mom said, I said something to her. I said, well, you know, it looks like your friend really liked that her. She said, I love them to death. I love them so much, I want to squeeze them to death. Meaning the witchcraft is, they can say one thing but mean another. My grandmother. And another thing my mom said, she said, the problem is not other people, it's us inside. My grandmother, she said, what was it? I'll come back to that one. My aunt, she said, if you're pointing, you got three pointing back. So if people point at you, but they can't see their own junk, that's narcissism, right? And my grandmother said, what was it that she said? Number one, she said, make sure you read your Bible. Number two, she said, what was it when I was a kid? Don't lie. Oh, birds of a feather flock together. So my grandmother said birds of a feather flock together. So here's the four tools that I use, and I have more, but these are the main ones. This is pretty much all you need. Birds of a feather flock together. The way they treat others is the way they treat you. Sometimes people say things, but they mean the opposite. Depends on how they say it. And if they point one, they got three pointing back. And if they can't see these, then they can't see their own sin. So when you go to a park and you remember a good time with a narcissistic Jezebel, or you go to a restaurant and you say, oh, what's your favorite restaurant? Remember, the restaurants are going to change. The parks are going to change. There's going to be new trees and new designs. And you're better off by yourself if you got an enemy in your own house. So if you got an enemy in your own house, you're better off by yourself. Long story short, I'm trying to tell you something. Our society is narcissistic and Jezebelic, and they glorify it. And you see it glorified on the TV and all. And it's usually the low class, low vibration people who are wanting to be worshipped, queen bee, shake their behind. But the ones who are higher class, supposedly, they might have more money. They still want to be worshipped, and they still play the same stupid games. But they look like they're not, but they really are. And so not all of them are that way. The born again women are not going to play those games. And I'm sure the born again women say the men do it too. And so, long story short, I just gave you a 3-video synopsis of how crazy this place really is. And you need to stand on the truth, not emotions. Truth, not emotions. Truth, not emotions. And then when you meet somebody who stands on the truth and not emotions, you meet a woman who puts the truth before her emotions. Yeah, she's going to have, all women have emotions, but when she puts the truth above her emotions and she's willing to take rebuke, then you got a good deal. But most people never escape it. They never escape the music. They never see through Babylon. They never see through Mammon. They never see through the Jezebel system. They never see this through the corporate narcissistic system. They never see the game. And it's just a big game, and it's trying to take away your soul, trying to get you to live in the past, trying to get you to they want to mirror you have a good heart, so they try to mirror it, but the psychopathic face always cracks and it bleeds through. And so don't judge something instantly. It takes 2 or 3 months before you can see the person's character, and you got to be around them enough to see it. And so You got to use wisdom. My point is, you got to use wisdom. And you got to guard your heart. Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flow all the issues of life. And so, write you some tools down. Write down some tools. And, the other one was my mom said, it's not about what's going out there, it's going on the inside, right? It's not about them, it's about you and how you deal with them. So my mom taught me how the witches work. And how you need to be introspective. It's not about what's going out there, it's you. It's internal. Don't get your identity out of anybody but Christ alone. But my mom's never got saved, so she was telling me, and I took and alchemized it into biblical truth, you know. And so all these tools, you start to apply your whole life, and it keeps you safe. And if they're trying to steal, kill, and destroy, you remember the love that you're projecting out to this person, the fake persona, the fake reality that they gave you, it was not real. And that's the hardest part for you. You've got to look in the mirror and say, I love this person, but this person didn't exist. And that's the hard pill to swallow. And 3 months later, when they truly call you back, or 6 months, or next year, and they talk to you, you're like, I don't even want to be your friend because you're a liar and a scammer and a cheater. And everything about you is the opposite. Try to find you some born again people, even if you found one, or one channel, or listen to, or text, or email, or make comments online. You're not alone in this battle. The devil wants to isolate the saints, and their isolation game is real. I was talking to this dude, I kind of forgot what I was talking about, but the narcissistic Jezebel doesn't have love. She's just mirroring to you. And when you wake up to the fact that the love that you threw out was just a mirror that she was giving back, it wasn't real. You were actually believing a lie and an illusion. Can I get the water? Can I get the water?
Behind you right now, so
Right.
I'm not going to ask you to pull forward.
Can I go ahead and get the water?
Yeah, we'll get that large one.
So, the Jezebel is not even a real person. They're not real. Because if you saw the real one, they tell you. You wouldn't like me if you saw the real me, like the monster that they are, you know. It was fake love. It was fake. So I had a sister in Christ talk to her about a month ago or something, 2 weeks or a month. We were talking about how it's the covenant. Love should be, we should have prearranged marriages in a way. Because if it's prearranged, you're forced, and notice the T-force on that truck, you're forced to make it work no matter what. It's a covenant. It's agreement. You don't back out based on emotions, up and down emotions. You stay in it. And if you've got a Jezebel mother-in-law, who's trying to manipulate the man to move to Florida or whatever, it's just not going to work. Most people never break their family stronghold. The two strongest strongholds I've ever been able to observe are the culture stronghold, the culture they were raised in, and the family stronghold, the bloodline stronghold. I broke them both. You talk about painful, because you have to do fast to break those two things. You've got to do some fasting and prayer, and actually move away for a year, or move away, come back, move away again, come back, move away again, come back, and then you've moved away enough that you're like, oh, when you go to the Coast Guard or the military, that is, and you get away, you can break these strongholds. And so these strongholds start, it could be a dad, but what I've seen is the female side. These strongholds, these maternal strongholds, keep people like in this little cocoon where the queen bee is helpless, and all the people around her are right there trying to support her, and she's number one. And she created this little environment that nobody can escape, because she's always playing those games. Poor pitiful me, save me, help me, or whatever. Some of them might be control freaks or whatever, but they pull you in if you let them. And because I've been in hospitality and I've talked to a lot of people, like for 2 years there was this person that you'd see her every day and you'd say, hey, how you doing? And you'd learn about her. And she was calling everybody else a narcissist, but she was the worst. But she was so good at playing poor pitiful me, you know. She was so good at playing poor pitiful me that you really thought everybody else that she told you about, her ex-husband, her kids, her friends, her ex-friends, whatever, everybody that she said was narcissistic, it was actually her. So for 2 years you realize it, and all the drama that she was creating for 2 years, once she left, the drama went away. There was no more drama. So it was actually her. She was causing all the drama, but she was the problem. And you're like, wow. You're like, wow. She'd fooled everybody. She was causing the drama, but she made it like everybody else was the problem. And one of the ways you knew it is because you'd walk by and she'd say, somebody threw a cigarette butt right there where I sit. Can you move that? And all she had to do is pick it up herself or kick it. And she was very nitpicky about little things that she shouldn't be nitpicking about. Stupid stuff.